Hello and welcome to Mastering YouTube, the channel that hasn't posted in 7 months. I'm sorry. Let me explain that real quick before we get into the guts of this video. I may have underestimated how much time I had available. Between a full-time job, 3 kids and all the activities that come with that, a primary YouTube channel, and then trying to start up another YouTube channel, I just couldn't take the same approach I do with my main YouTube channel. I never could get the videos to the level I wanted. So let me explain what I'm going to be doing on this channel going forward super quick. Instead of trying to do higher production, tons of B-roll, lots of angles, really kind of make it a production every video, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it to the point. And I'm just going to try to give you very direct videos that just give you a lot of information very quickly and help you learn new skills, something you can apply, or just something to think about when you create your next video. And hopefully just in that very short format, it'll help you learn some without taking too much of your time up. So hopefully you'll like it and hopefully we can keep the videos coming. So hit that subscribe button to stay tuned because I think it's going to be a little bit better around here. But today's video is about some of those you're new to YouTube questions and you just don't really know how to approach some of the basics. And the first topic I want to jump into is how long should my video be? And when you're new to YouTube, this can be quite confusing because a lot of people think longer is better. Longer is more information. I remember when I started, there was kind of two problems. I wanted to deliver as much information as possible, but also I didn't know how to stay on point. And I kind of thought the more I talked, the more information I was giving my audience. So if I went on tangents or kind of over-explained topics, that was me giving them more and they were going to like that more. But in the land of YouTube, that's not what viewers want. They want whatever they came searching for, the information they want quickly. They don't want to wait for someone to kind of beat around the bush or kind of over exaggerate what they're talking about or just spend too much time dragging on a topic. They want the information delivered quickly. So that's something that you need to learn to do. And with that, I'm going to say there's kind of two different main video types you're going to come across as a new YouTube creator. Maybe you have a topic in your head that you want to talk about, but you know it's not got a lot of content around it. You really don't have to explain one thing real quick, but you know it's going to be beneficial to people, so it's worth making that video. But a lot of times what we do is we find ourselves going, well, I can't just create a 2-minute video. I kind of talk about this, explain things, like just kind of get into it, just make a longer video. And this 2-minute topic becomes 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And what you're going to see is people commenting saying, why was this long? This should have been this long. And to be honest, they're kind of right. Don't be afraid to create a short YouTube video. There's nothing wrong with that, and people appreciate it because you're giving them the answers or the information they want quickly, and they can move on and they'll appreciate your content. And the next time they see you pop up, they'll be like, oh, I like that person. They gave me what I needed. I'll watch this next video, even if this doesn't apply to them that much. So don't be afraid to keep a video short. From there, let's say you have more of a longer length video or your typical YouTube video. When you're new, these can drag on. And you can find yourself, like I was saying earlier, dragging on to where this video suddenly is 12, 15, maybe longer minutes long. And what happens here is you just are talking too much. Or even if you got a lot of information sharing, you are just hitting a lot of different bullet points. It's too much for the audience. They're not going to stick around that long, even if there is a lot of information in there. And what you need to learn to do is do a few things to shorten that down. And what I would suggest in these type of videos is to try to make a goal of maybe 8 minutes. This seems to be a good number where people will stick around. You end up with a good audience retention rate, which is a metric that you really want to focus on in YouTube. And I'll create videos around that down the road. But what you can do to help this happen is, one, trim the fat. So when you're editing, if you notice that you just started dragging on and on, see if you can cut that down and just get right to the point. Also, I created a video about scripting. Create a script, have bullet points, and use those and follow those specifically, and don't go on and on about topics. And if you're recording and you find yourself just kind of talking and talking, stop, say, oh, I'm doing it again. I do this all the time. I still do this. I say, oh, stop, re-record, and start over and say it in a nice, quick, concise method. Viewers on YouTube appreciate this a ton, and it will help you a lot, and it will help condense your videos and keep them shorter. From there, if you have so many talking points that you know you just can't keep in an 8-minute video, this is when you want to consider breaking it apart. Maybe you can actually make multiple videos on this topic. You can just kind of have a this focus and a that focus, and you have 2 8-minute videos, and you just make sure they're action-packed or full of information, and you make sure you're keeping yourself on topic for each of those videos. But again, do what you need to do to try to, at least initially until you find your groove or where your channel best fits, try to focus on 8 minutes, and don't be afraid again to go shorter than that. If you look at your video and you're like, 6 minutes probably would have been good, I kind of went off, do it, condense it. That's what viewers on YouTube appreciate. The next topic is how often should you create videos? And the quick answer is as often as you can that you're creating quality content. Sometimes we get in the habit of, I just want to push videos out, and you're just kind of pulling back on the quality. Your videos, you're talking too much, it's not great B-roll, it's just a lot of talking head, and this just isn't interesting. You want to put out quality videos, and you want to put out videos that when people watch it, they don't at the end go, person's new to YouTube, or they just don't really have it, they're not that great at this. Because what happens there is, one, they won't watch very much of your video, and again, you end up with a low audience retention rate, and that tells YouTube your video is no good and they won't show it anymore. Second, that person remembers you. So the next time your thumbnail pops up and they're like, I know that person, I didn't really like them, they don't click on that video, and that again tells YouTube, nobody's clicking on this video, they're just not worth showing. And that tells YouTube, it's just probably a bad channel, it's a bad video, and it makes it harder for you to succeed. So, as long as you can keep putting out quality videos, that should be your goal. Now, with that being said, I would try to get at least one video out a week. Do whatever you can to try to match that, because as soon as you slow down more than that, it's just hard to show YouTube that you're posting frequently enough and that you're getting enough of the engagement, all those different flags that YouTube looks at, views, likes, shares, audience retention rate on new videos, all those different things that they use to see how good your channel is. And if you're not posting at least once a week, it's going to be really hard to succeed. If you can post more often than that, great for you. Everybody's situation is different, so I'm not going to say anything more than that, but at least once a week, more if possible, but make sure they're quality videos. And next up is, should you respond to all comments? So listen, something that's very important on YouTube is engagement. People that watch your video interacting with your video. That could be leaving comments, likes, sharing your video, doing different things where they show that they're more involved than just watching the video itself. This gives YouTube all sorts of information to show your channel might be worth showing to more people, pushing to new audiences. So everything you can do to try to get people to engage with your videos more and give those flags to YouTube is better. And that's like doing little things like asking people to like your video are important. You want that engagement. Saying something as simple as, hey, if you're enjoying this content or you're finding it beneficial, if you could please toss me a like, I'd really appreciate it. That makes a big difference. So when it comes to comments, that is a very easy way for you to get engagement. They have posted, they have shown that they want to talk to you, that they're interested in your content, that they don't mind having dialogue with you, and that is an interaction. But when you reply, that's even more. They might reply, and you can go back and forth. And in your head, don't think of that as work. Think of that as every post is another signal to YouTube. So yes, when you're new, respond to everything. On my main channel, I'm just now reaching the point where I'm struggling to respond to every comment because it's getting pretty thick, but I still do it. The only ones that don't get responses are the ones that I miss. So I still do that to this day on a channel that has, I think, almost 17,000 subscribers and gets quite a few comments. So when you're new, it's much easier to maintain that, and yes, I highly recommend doing that. So I hope that was helpful, but I do have one thing I need from you. I have a laundry list of things I want to talk about. But more importantly, I want to know what you want me to talk about. What topics would you like covered? From gear to video creation to YouTube analytics, I don't care, anything YouTube related. Comment down below. Let me know what you want, because I want to create videos that are going to help you out. So thank you again. Please hit that like button for me. Huge assist, and I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, have a great one.